Hello, welcome to the Wasting Time podcast. I'm Chris, just here with a quick intro today. So in this episode, I spoke to a young singer called Chrisian, and he kind of made his name on TikTok, and it was interesting to hear about his life and what his career is looking at right now. So let's jump straight into it. Whereabouts are you based? You West Coast based?
Yeah, I'm in Hollywood right now.
Okay, which part of Hollywood?
Right in the middle.
Okay. Are you from that part of the world, or have you kind of, as music led you there?
No, I've grown up like an hour outside of LA. So I've always been in the area.
At the time of talking, this is off the back of your single that came out at the back end of last week, Take Me Back.
Yep.
Congrats on putting that out. How are you feeling about that?
Appreciate it. I really like it. I'm glad that people enjoy it and understand what it's about.
It's not a million miles away from a lot of the stuff you've done, but there's definitely, I don't know, it feels like there's more of a kind of folk sound on it. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, the new EP that I'm working on right now is like all in the folk area of things.
What made you want to go in that direction? Is that a kind of music that you've been drawn to previously, or is it something you got into recently? What kind of inspired that kind of move?
I've been listening to a lot of it, and also it's just really nice to make music that sounds like it's made with real instruments. It makes sense in a world without technology. Like if I want to go to the middle of the woods and just stay in a cabin and not talk to anybody for a few weeks, I can listen to folk music and
What folk music have you been listening to in particular recently?
I listen to a lot of Noah Kahan, David Kushner, Zach Bryan. I forgot what this one guy's name is, but he's really cool.
Did you do this with a producer, or did you self-produce it?
I did it with Bluey, Sweet, Grant, and my friend Clark.
Have you worked with either of them on any of your previous stuff?
I worked with them on I Won't Beg for You, which is the other folk song I just put out before that.
Yeah. Okay. So that was like the first kind of step in this direction.
Yeah.
Speaking of other things you've done recently, you did Lollapalooza the other week. How was that, man?
That was insanely fun. It was probably, I don't know, the most nerve-wracking and exciting thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah. So I think when I was looking it up, did you play the Thursday of that weekend?
Yeah, that was the first day that the festival was happening.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So you were kind of alongside some obviously you got Billie Eilish headlining that day.
My favorite.
Nice. Did you catch her set?
I did. There's a little artist area that I can escape into the general population, and I was able to sneak into the front of the stage, which was really cool.
Oh, that's cool. Had you seen her live before?
Never seen her in person, never seen her live until then, and I was getting chills, 10 out of 10.
And what a way to see her for the first time when you were playing that festival yourself.
It was like the perfect world because I started off the day, I did 2 shows, and then I immediately got to see my favorite singer in the world.
Who else did you check out that day?
I tried to see Noah Kahan, but it was way too packed. They threw him on a small stage.
Oh, okay.
He was not built for it, and the whole festival tried to see him and just shut everything down. I saw Swaco. Yeah, he's super sick. He like surfed on top of the crowd with a board, like a surfboard, which is really fun.
I mean, from the clips that I've seen and looking at your Instagram stuff, it seems like you went down well there. Is that safe to say? Or is that how it felt to you?
Yeah, for sure. I think people really enjoyed the show and had a good time. I also stayed for an hour signing autographs until the crowd disappeared.
So this is like the biggest scale festival you've done so far. Have you done many other festivals before?
I've never been to a festival before this.
What you mean, literally as a fan as well as performing?
Yeah. Either way, I didn't know what festivals were like.
Man, what a first way to experience it.
Yeah, it was crazy because my first experience was from behind the scenes, walking into the artist lounge. I didn't know for the first day after I performed and everything, I still didn't know what it was like. So then I walked out into GA and I saw how packed it was and how many people there were. And that's when I really understood what it was about.
Are there any? Have you got any other festivals kind of on your bucket list that you'd love to perform at? You know, maybe some of which are in the works. Obviously, you'll not be able to say, but
Coachella and Rolling Loud, I think, would be cool.
well, if you've done this one, they both. I feel like they're both kind of feasible for you now.
Hopefully, that's what I think, but we'll see what happens.
As you said, you're kind of based in the center of Hollywood. So like since this music thing's kind of taken off for you, you know, you're playing things like Lollapalooza now. It's it's really going places. Like what's a typical day in the life look like for you? Talk me through a typical August Thursday. What's on the agenda today?
Well, yesterday I woke up at 10 or something, and then I went to go look at apartments.
Okay.
With my friend who's a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And then after that, I had a session from 2 p.m. to however long it goes. And that one went until like 4 or 5. And after that, I drove back to the house, waited till like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Then drove over to my friend's house and started storyboarding my upcoming music video until 1:30 a.m. And then I drove home, went to sleep, and missed the beginning of our podcast.
In fairness to you, not by much, so it's all good. I've definitely I've had other artists that are way later than this. You were like 10 minutes, man. That's nothing. Yeah,
I was in the middle of a dream and something pulled me out of it.
Really?
Yeah, I just sat up in the bed while I was sleeping and my eyes whipped open, and then I looked at the clock. I saw that it was 9:13. I'm like, no. And I called. Somehow you're still on, which is cool.
Hey, I appreciate you doing it early because obviously I'm 8 hours ahead of you, so this is much later in the day for me.
Yeah.
When you said a session, did you mean, was that a writing session?
Yeah, with this producer that made a lot of Avril Lavigne songs, Blink songs, Black Veil Brides.
John Feldmann?
Yeah.
You were working with John Feldmann yesterday. Okay.
Yeah. How'd you know who I was talking about?
Because I'm very familiar with I have met John before, but I don't know him personally, but I'm very, very familiar with his work. So as soon as you said Avril Lavigne and then Blink, I was like, oh fuck, he's doing stuff with John. Okay.
Yeah.
How many sessions have you done with him?
That was my first one. It was pretty interesting. I drove to his house.
Yeah.
And he has like assistants or something, and then he has like 4 people working in this room just editing vocals. And I walked in, and the whole left wing of his house is just a giant studio, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean he's big time. He's quite intense. He's quite has a lot of energy. He seems. Is that how he came across to you?
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Was this just in terms of just kind of doing some co-writes with him, or is he going to be potentially producing some of your work further down the line, or it's too early to tell on that kind of thing?
It's like a speed date.
Okay.
We were just on a date.
Okay.
Yeah. We'd never met each other. I didn't know who he was, and I don't think he knew who I was.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I now know. I'm now aware after I saw all the plaques. I decided to look him up.
I don't know how much he talked about like his own music career, but he's famous for. So he sings for a band called Goldfinger. I don't know how familiar you are with their music, but they're a huge staple in the Blink sort of genre of music. So he's like a big name, not just as a producer, but as a frontman of a band himself.
Nice. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, man. Like if you know the Tony Hawk skater games, like the trademark song off those games is one of his songs. So
oh, nice. I used to play that skate.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, man. Superman by Goldfinger. That's like kind of the trademark.
Wait,
Tony
Superman
Hawk.
Is that which Superman?
So the song's just called Superman. It's like a ska upbeat song. Like because the lyric is like. So here I am pretending I'm a Superman, something like that. But it definitely features on the Tony Hawk games.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, do it.
It's called Goldfinger.
So the band is Goldfinger, one word. And then yeah, like it's maybe their biggest song is Superman, and it was kind of made famous from the Tony Hawk games.
I'm gonna play it while we're on the phone.
Do it, do it. But yeah, you were essentially on the speed date with like pop punk royalty yesterday, man.
That's crazy. What a date.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a little jealous, I have to say. That's no, that's really cool. That's really cool. So it sounds like, you must have some decent management now. Like if they're hooking you up with people like that, I can, obviously playing things like Lollapalooza and your career's taken off if these connections are happening. That's really exciting.
I hope that's what it means. My management has built a cool team around me, which is like I have a cool agency, and
Yeah.
I'm talking to some cool publishing people. So I think that's what contributed to this. But
Got it. Okay.
yeah, my manager also managed another client that was in a session with him with Feldy 2 days ago.
Which client's that? I'm curious. Wonder if it's anyone I've heard of.
Landon Barker.
Oh, Travis Barker's son.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Have you crossed paths with him?
Yeah, we used to be friends like probably like a year ago. And then I went all woodsy and crazy. So I stopped talking to everybody in LA.
Oh, okay, okay.
I went all like I need to like I'm gonna stop having material possessions and go live away from people. And now I've calmed down. But
Oh, I see. How long did that period last for?
I didn't realize what was happening for like a good 6 months. But after I realized it, went to the woods for a little bit, came back, lived a different type of life. We are here now.
What's he like, Landon? Is he a nice guy?
It's probably one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Oh, that's cool.
I've heard other people say different things, but
Yeah,
I've never once. Actually, I've only heard one person say something negative about him, but I've
yeah.
never once had any bad interaction with him, and he's always been super nice.
That's cool. That's humbling, isn't it? Because obviously being Travis Barker's son and coming from that kind of, huge rock stars background to, be a cool guy. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me a little bit about your journey. So from like reading up on you and stuff, it feels like it's not that long ago when you kind of jumped into music. Like, was it kind of around the start of the pandemic or was it a little earlier than that?
I've been doing it for a while, but I have not been doing it successfully until 2020, I would say. Yeah,
Okay.
right at the pandemic.
What was your experience like prior to 2020? Were you kind of writing and recording solo music? Were you playing shows? What had you done up to that point?
I was a SoundCloud rapper in high school.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get made fun of for making music all the time, and then kids would try to beat me up, and they'd catch
Yeah.
me walking outside of school, and they'd yell slurs out the window.
Yeah.
If they see me at a party, they'd try to jump me. It was like a whole thing.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, never fine.
Okay. So it was like kind of in 2020, that's when everything changed for you, right?
Yeah, I used to. So in 2019, I would make music, and then I hit up this one rapper, and I was like, hey, I'll drive you wherever you want to go for $100 a day or $20 an hour or some shit. I forgot what it was, but it ended up being like $100 a day. And I just turned 17, just got my license.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'll whatever. And so I drove him around from party to party, and I met all his friends, and I started hanging out with his friends.
Yeah.
And I started filming and documenting the experience. And I thought I was going to get into documenting and filming, and eventually that was taking over my whole life. Then I got arrested. My camera broke. I got beat up by police at one of these parties.
Shit. Okay.
And it made me realize that that was not what I wanted to do, and music was what I wanted to do. So started making videos of me, uploading them onto the internet, me singing and rapping and such.
Yeah.
And they started doing well.
And what was it? Was it on TikTok where it kind of really sort of took off?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got fuckloads of followers on TikTok. So was it just like, was that a gradual thing over the pandemic, or was there kind of like one video that just kind of really got picked up and it came from there?
it was a month of me posting 30 days in a row, like making a new song a day and then
Oh
posting that
wow,
song.
okay.
And I
Yeah.
got to around 900,000 followers from that. I think it was two
Whoa.
months to get to 900,000. And then slowly after that, it's been a slow burn to where I'm at right now.
I was talking to another TikToker over in the UK, and they were was at a record label thing with them recently, and they were showing me what like their Instagram looks like, and they probably had about 500,000 followers on Instagram or whatever,
Mm.
because and just what the notifications are like and stuff, and like to a civilian like me, I'm like, whoa, that's intense, but like I can't imagine what your TikTok looks like on the from the user side. Do you have like people who kind of have to help you manage it when you have that many followers?
No, I don't know. I used to have notifications on and I'd post a video and then I'd sit
Yeah.
there in front of my phone and just watch it go bing, 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 bing,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how I'd get my adrenaline and that's how I'd feel good. But then when I'd post videos, if the notifications weren't coming at a faster speed than they came at the last time, then
Yeah.
I'd feel crazy for the day. I'd feel like shit. So
Oh,
I just
how
yeah,
funny.
it's a drug.
Yeah.
So I turned off notifications and I just posted
Yeah.
videos and then I wouldn't look for the whole day.
Yeah. Yeah. And that probably felt that probably helped, I should imagine.
Yeah, but it was also nerve-wracking not knowing if the video did horrible, you
Oh,
know.
what's so that moment at the end of the day when you're logging in and you're gonna like find out how it did.
My heart would be racing.
Oh
Back
man.
then though, usually the
Yeah.
videos would get around 1 million views a video. Now they're just all over the place. I have no idea. They sometimes it'll get like 10K, sometimes
Yeah.
it'll get 200K. I have no
Yeah.
idea. It's a whole different platform.
And do you feel a bit more relaxed about it? You're just like, hey, if it's a 10K one, cool. If it's a 200K one, cool. Like, do you kind of take a step back from it now, or do you still have that thing where you're like, come on, please be a high scoring one?
It's no longer crippling, but I'm still slightly affected because everybody wants to be liked. And I think
Of course,
the
of course.
views, getting a lot of views tells me people like what I put out.
So when you started gaining traction on TikTok, did you notice, was there any interaction from anyone famous, like in the music world or otherwise, who kind of paid attention to you? Was there any moments like that came along?
Yeah, the one that's coming to mind right now is the have you ever seen Big Time Rush?
No, I can't say I have.
Okay. There's a in the show a producer named Gustavo.
Okay.
That guy reached out to me first, I think, or something. I don't know, but he's really cool. I hung out with him. He invited me to his birthday party. That was really cool.
Oh, that's
A
very
lot of
cool.
people reached out along the way, but I don't remember. It wasn't really important conversations or anything
Yeah.
crazy.
Obviously, we already discussed the festival you did the other week. Have you had a chance to do much touring since this music thing's taken off for you?
I have not. The festival I believe is my fifth show I've done.
Fifth show, man. Really? Wow.
I want to do more. It's just I don't know. I got to call my agent today and tell him to book me more shows.
What were the ones prior to Lollapalooza like?
My first show was in LA at the Roxy,
Oh, sick. Okay.
and then my second show was in New York at um I confused the New York and Chicago venues at Mercury Lounge.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Third one was in Chicago at Subterranean. And fourth was at Emo Night in LA, which is cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How did that go?
That was great. That was really fun. They also had me DJ and stand up and shoot these CO2 cannons.
Did you get to meet the guy who runs like the emo night stuff? Forgotten his name.
Yeah, yeah, those guys are dope.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
really, they really started a thing that just has just grown and grown. It's really cool.
They performed at Lollapalooza too. I didn't get to see their set, but
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah.
So what's your live show like as a solo artist? Do you have like some live live musicians with you? Do you use backing tracks mainly? What's the setup?
I have a guitar player and a drummer,
Okay.
and it's usually me just singing my heart out and jumping around on stage the whole time.
Nice. Nice. The way it should be.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Like, so when you kind of, well, I guess I'm interested in like what the music you grew up on is like, because obviously you mentioned that you were a SoundCloud rapper. So obviously you must have had an interest in SoundCloud rap and rap music. Talk me through some of those influences. And then obviously you can hear in the music you're making, that you've been making since things have taken off for you.
Yeah.
You can hear like the rock influences as well. Can you just talk me through some of those? I know you've already told me about the folk stuff you've been listening to recently, but tell me a bit about your history with like rap music and rock music. Who some of the favorites have been?
All right. My parents used to listen to a lot of different stuff. My dad would listen to a lot of Blink, Green Day, all that type of stuff. But he'd
Yeah,
also listen to pop, like Kesha and whatever. My mom used to listen to a lot of Gwen Stefani and System of a Down,
yeah,
all like a bunch of different things. And then my
yeah.
stepdad would be blasting NWA, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Tupac. So
Got
that's
it.
probably
Yeah.
where the rap interest came from.
What about you? Like, what kind of bands were you into, kind of in high school and into and going into starting the music career? What were some of the big ones you were listening to?
In high school, I was listening to a lot of rap,
Okay.
like XXX Tentacion,
Yeah, yeah.
Ski Mask, Eminem, a lot of Tupac. I'm trying to think of. It's escaping me. It's an old version of myself that I've let go of. But
Yeah, fair enough. What did you move into after that?
slowly, I adopted listening to all the stuff that my parents used to listen to.
What in particular? Who were the standouts within that world for you?
All the ones that I mentioned earlier, and
Hmm.
some like Bob Marley, some. Hmm, I can go through. Let me go through my likes on Spotify. We can
Do it, man. Do it.
see what we got. Okay. All right. Most recently, I have been listening to Peso Pluma, Travis Scott, Charlie on a Friday, Electric Light Orchestra. You know that song, Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, of course.
Noah Kahn, Drift Away by Uncle Cracker. Put Put It On Me, Matt Mason, Miguel and J. Cole, Corday, Central C, Kendrick Lamar, Jack Harlow, The Chain Gang of 1974, Billie Eilish, David Kushner, Sam Barber. These are all newer artists here, but
Yeah.
the Killers. Oh, the Killers. They have 3 albums back to back without one skip. Fall Out Boy, Friday Pilots Club are my friends, and I am such a big fan of them. Jesse Murph. These are all my newer. If I go into my older playlist, let's see. Okay, Nirvana, Franz Ferdinand, All American Rejects, Killers Again, Sun Lux, Chase Atlantic, The Neighborhood, Kanye, Arctic Monkeys, Weezer, Sublime, Blink, Lustra, Third Eye Blind, um, Kid Cudi,
This is yeah, it's nicely
Love.
diverse. Like in
Yeah,
basically in the broader rock and rap world. Yeah, okay. I see the theme coming through.
yeah. I don't know. I think it's just anything that sounds cool. It doesn't really have to be a genre.
Yeah. Well, people because like I guess I'm like generation before you, there's a bit of an age gap between us. Because I'm 40 and you must be what are you? You about 20, 21 or something now?
20, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, like people who say like about your generation, like it's common for like big music fans to not really stick to one genre just because of the way like music's consumed these days. Whereas like for me when I was your age, like I was kind of like listening to punk rock or pop punk or whatever was like my identity, and like I rarely went outside of that lane. But would you say it's fair to say like for people your age today that's less the case. Is there any truth to that, do you think?
Yeah, I think people listen to individual songs and not really artists anymore.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And I guess like the music that you're making kind of fits in with the modern world in that it's kind of, there's a lot of variety in everything that you've released up to this point, I guess.
Yeah, in the same way that I listen to music and I get bored of the genres, I
Yeah,
make music and I get bored of making the same music. So
got it.
once I make a really cool music or a really cool song with a vibe, I will be like, all right, I did it. Now I'm gonna make a cool song with a different vibe and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
keep going.
That's so interesting to me. What was sorry to keep going back to this. What was the kind of vibe of the stuff that came out with Theldy?
Uh,
You able to put your finger on that?
yeah, I mean, we kept making stuff that felt like early 2000s hits. It's kind of what he kept
Yeah,
playing chords like that, and I was
yeah,
singing melodies like that, and it wasn't really what I'm putting out right now, but it was
yeah.
cool. I enjoyed it.
See, it does not shock me that you tell me that because that's what I would expect him to be doing with you, you know?
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. So
That's so funny, man. Have you ever been over this way? You've been to the UK before?
no, but I'd love to.
Can you see from like the numbers and stuff? Have you got like a decent UK audience? Like I assume you're able to look at your Spotify
Yeah,
figures and stuff.
UK and Australia, y'all are pulling pretty strong.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I want to do a show out there. I want to hear everybody singing the lyrics with with a UK accent.
The
Would be great.
accent. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's only got to be a matter of time before your management kind of or your booking agent get you a one-off London show or something at least,
They're
surely.
just so expensive
Right. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
fly
Yeah.
everybody out and hotels and all that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I feel like it's got to happen in some shape or form as part of something else.
I
Um,
wanted to. I wanted to happen for sure.
Yeah, fingers crossed for you, man. It'd be great to see you over this way. Speaking of touring, like who would be like who's your dream tour? Who's on the what other two artists are on a dream tour with you?
Billie Eilish. That's probably it that I can think of right now.
And what about any dream collaborations apart from Billie Eilish, which I assume would be one?
Oh man, then I don't know if I have an answer. I think that's I
You
think
can
that's it.
okay, you could just say Billie Eilish again. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah, no, she writes is so unique and interesting. I just haven't heard anything like that from anyone else.
We could probably wrap this up now. Like, really appreciate you giving some of your time, and I know it's early in the morning for you, so that makes me doubly appreciate it. But
Thank you for having me. This is
oh,
really cool.
of course, man. Yeah. I'm curious to see what's next for you as well. Like, I think what you're doing's fascinating, and yeah, my mind's blown about the Feldy thing as well. So yeah, man, I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
All right, buddy. I'll let you get on with your day. Have a good one.
All right, cheers.
All right, bye.